Have you ever stared at your payslip and just thought, what on earth am I even looking at? You're definitely not alone. That little string of numbers and letters, maybe something like 1263L, can feel like a total mystery. But what if I told you that cracking that code could actually mean you're getting to keep more of your own money every single month? Well, today, we're going to do just that, and trust me, it's way simpler than you think.
And just so you know, you're in safe hands, this entire breakdown comes straight from the expert tax advisors at ProTax Accountant. They're one of the UK's most trusted accounting firms, and they help people make sense of their taxes every single day. So you can be absolutely confident that what you're hearing is spot on.
Let's be honest, we've all done it. That payslip lands, you have a quick look at the numbers, and then your eyes drift over to this code. It looks totally random, doesn't it? Like some password you've forgotten. But it's not random at all. It's actually a really specific instruction about your money, and understanding it is the very first step to taking proper control of your finances.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First up, we'll uncover what any tax code is actually for. Then, we'll get right into decoding 1263L. After that, we'll look at why you might have this specific code, how to claim it if you don't have it yet, and finally, and this is so important, how to double-check your code is actually correct.
Right, so before we can zoom in on 1263L, we need to get our heads around the basics. You see, every single tax code, no matter what it says, does one fundamental job. It's a message. It's a critical bit of communication that goes from HMRC straight to your employer.
And it really is that simple. Just imagine HMRC sending your boss a little note. That note is your tax code, and it tells them exactly how much of your pay is tax-free. Your employer's payroll system just reads that code and boom, it automatically figures out how much tax to take off before the money even gets to you. That's the whole pay-as-you-earn, or PAYE, system in a nutshell. Okay, now for the main event. Let's pull apart 163L. But to really see what makes this code a bit special, we have to know what the normal is. We need to look at the standard, most common tax code that you'll see in the UK. It's the baseline that everything else is measured against. So for the 2025 to 2026 tax year, the standard personal allowance is £12,570. Now this number is a big deal. It's the amount of money you are allowed to earn in a whole year before you pay a single penny of income tax. For most people with one job, this is the magic number.
And that allowance figure translates directly into the standard tax code 1257L. See how that works? HMRC keeps it pretty simple. You just take the allowance, £12,570, knock the last number off, and you've got 1257. The L on the end just confirms that you're entitled to the standard allowance. So if you see 1257L on your payslip, you know you're on the standard baseline code.
Now let's use that exact same logic for your code, 1263L. We take the number 1263 and we just add a 0 to the end. That gives you a total tax-free allowance of £12,630. And as you can see, that is definitely more than the standard allowance, which is fantastic news for your bank balance.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly. Over on the left, you've got the standard code, giving you £12,570 tax-free. But on the right, your code, 1263L, gives you £12,630. And here's the crucial point. It means you have an extra £60 of income that you will not pay any tax on. It's a clear financial win.
Which, of course, leads us to the big question. Why? Why do some people get this little extra boost to their tax-free allowance? Well, it's not just random luck. There's a very specific reason for it. So let's find out where that extra £60 of tax relief actually comes from. Honestly, this is the question we hear all the time. People spot the different code and they want to know, what they did to get this little perk. And the answer, almost always, comes down to the kind of job you do.
Okay, so the single most common reason by a country mile for having the 1263L tax code is for something called a flat rate expense. Specifically, HMRC gives you a £60 allowance to help you cover the cost of washing and looking after a uniform or specialized clothing that you have to wear for your job.
And this applies to a massive range of professions. So think about it. If you're a nurse in Manchester, this is to help with washing your scrubs. If you're a chef in a busy London kitchen, it's for keeping your whites clean. It also counts for construction workers with branded safety gear, cabin crew, even retail staff at a supermarket who have to wear that specific company polo shirt. Now you'll want to hear this part. Here's a pro tip from the team at ProTax Accountant, because this catches a lot of people out. The key thing, the absolute deal breaker, is that you can only get this allowance if your employer doesn't already pay you back for these costs, or if they don't provide a laundry service for you. You can't claim it if the boss is already footing the bill. So what if you're listening to this and thinking,
Hang on, I wear a uniform, I pay to wash it, but my tax code is 1257L. Well, the next question is obvious. How do you get it changed? Let's walk through it, because it's much easier than you'd imagine. Right, it all starts with something called a P87 form. That's just HMRC's official form for claiming tax relief on your work expenses. Honestly, the easiest way is to do it online through your government gateway account. You just log in, fill out the details, and hit submit. But you can still print it out and pop it in the post if you prefer. Once HMRC gets it, they'll send the new 1263L code directly to your employer. Simple as that.
And here is the best bit. This isn't something you have to remember to do every single year. Nope. Once your claim for the uniform allowance is approved, HMRC just keeps that 1263L code in place for as long as you're in that job. You'd only need to tell them if something changes, like if you get a new job without a uniform. And this brings us to our last section, which is arguably the most important one of all, taking control and making sure your code is right. Stay with me, because getting this wrong can either cost you money or land you with a surprise bill from the taxman.
First off, let's be crystal clear on where to find your code. It should be on every single payslip. It's definitely on your P60, that's your end-of-year summary, and it's on a P45 if you leave a job. But honestly, the simplest way to check it anytime is to log into the HMRC app on your phone or your personal tax account on the gov.uk website.
So, here's the crucial point. While HMRC sends the code and your employer uses it, the actual legal responsibility to check if it's correct, well, that falls on you. Think of it like your bank statement. You check it for mistakes, right? It's the same thing. The wrong code could mean you're overpaying tax all year, or even worse, underpaying and setting yourself up for a nasty surprise bill later on. It is absolutely worth the 5 minutes it takes to check.
And that's really what this all boils down to. You now know that seeing 1263L on your payslip is a good thing. It means a little extra tax relief. But that knowledge leaves you with one really important question to ask yourself. Are you 100% sure you're on the right code for your life right now?
Okay, before we finish up, just a quick but important disclaimer. The information we've gone through today is for general guidance and is accurate as of January 2026. But tax can be complicated, and everyone's situation is different. So for advice that's built just for you, it's always best to speak to a professional.
And if you are feeling a bit unsure about your tax code, or if you think you might be due this allowance, the team at Pro Tax Accountant are the people to talk to. They can look at your specific circumstances and make sure you're on the right code, which could save you a fair bit of money. Their contact details are right there on the screen.
For a full written guide that covers everything we've talked about, head over to the Pro Tax Accountant blog. The link is on your screen now. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you found this helpful, please do subscribe for more straightforward answers to tricky money questions.